Once you've installed your FXCM trading station software, you'll have the application start up here on your desktop. Double click, and then what you'll need to do is enter your login credentials, which will be the ones that came up on the web page, or they also would have been emailed to your inbox. Ensure that the connection is a demo if it is a demo account, and then if it's a real account you can click on this and then click real. So once you've logged in, you're going to get this message up here just telling you what's new about the trading station. There's been some software updates, so every time there is a software update they will give you an overview of what's changed. For now we're going to close this down. And then you've got 2 pages. So the first one we're going to look at is this one here. Now this is kind of your overall account summary. It's going to summarize what positions you've got open, what profits you've got, etc, etc. Now what I'm going to do is try and make this as simple as possible, because it can be a bit overwhelming and a bit confusing. So what you need to do is just close down a lot of these. We're going to close this one down, we're going to close this one down, we're going to keep this one up. So this is the account. At the moment we've got £50,000 equity in there. This is our daily profit and loss. Our margin, which is the percentage of account that we're actually using to trade. How much margin we've got available left to trade. So obviously we've got no trades at the moment, so we've still got 50,000, which is 100%. And then your gross profit and loss there. Down the bottom here, when we open a trade, we have open positions, a summary. So if we've got several positions on the same currency or same symbol, it will summarize them over here. Any orders, if we've got any open orders, any closed positions, so we can review anything we've closed and finalized. And then this tab here you can just ignore. So what we're going to do is we're going to just minimize this page for a minute, and then we're going to look at an actual chart of a market. Now actually, just before we do that, we're going to just decide what markets we're going to be trading on here. So we go to symbols, and these are all the markets here that we've got currently. So let's have a look. So we're happy with that, We're going to get rid of the dollar. So let's click on the dollar index, and then if we just click this bottom arrow, that will get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this, French 40. We're going to get rid of this. Get rid of this. Keep that. Get rid of 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 that. Okay, so let's just have a look to make sure that we've got all the symbols that we now require. So we're going to add on one here by putting in the search symbols. Okay, so we're going to bring that across. We're going to search for another one. Just found it there. I'm going to bring that one across. I'm going to search for another one. We're going to bring that one across. That's now available for us. I'm just checking that we've got all the ones that we need. Dollar CAD. We're going to get oil up on here as a commodity. So you probably notice it's obviously not just currencies that we're trading, we're also trading some indices, so stock market indices such as the US 30, which is the Dow Jones, the German 30, which is the DAX, the UK 100 is the FTSE, we've got gold up here as commodity, we've got the Japanese 225, we've got oil here, we've got some various currencies, not all dollar related, so we've got a kind of mixed bag here, which is going to allow us the possibility to have more trade setups. Just check, we've got pound US dollar, we have dollar Japanese yen, we've got, and that's it. So that's all our currency pairs that we need for now. And any signals or any trades that I'll be placing or comments will generally be based on these particular currencies. Okay, so we've got all them available to us now. We're going to close this down. Next thing we're going to look at is the actual market, so a graph of the market. So we're going to close this page down and you'll find that behind you've got your chart here. Okay, now these are different charts of different markets. You can have, to get rid of the strategies there, so we can have as many different charts as we want. Now what you've got here is the symbol, so that's the market that you're looking at and what we just edited. So if I wanted to look to trade cable, pound, US dollars, I can literally select it from the drop down menu here, select the time frame that I want to look at, but if you're just following my signal, this isn't necessary. You can trade off any time frame, but if you want to look at the daily charts, you've got that here. Now at the moment as a standard, the setup has got some bars on it, so you may know, you may not know, depending on your level of experience, what these mean, but basically depending on the time frame that you're set to, each of these bars will represent that time frame. So on the daily chart, one bar is equivalent to 1 day. So in this day, the price started down here and has moved all the way up to here and closed here. Okay, if I went to a 1 hour chart, I'd be looking at the same thing but based on an hour. So this bar here is what that price done in an hour on, and it's highlighted just below the actual day that you're referring to and the hour that you're referring to. Okay, so again, if you're just beginning at the moment, this isn't all necessary to you, and there will be later videos to explain more details all about this, but just so you know what you're looking at, this is just a summary of price over this period of time. Okay, and each bar in this sum on a day chart, each bar is what the price has done over a course of a day. These lines along here, it's come automatically set up on you, and they're just two really important period moving averages. Now you might want to set them to be the same as how I have them. So the 21 period moving average, we can just change the colour to blue, and then if you see a screenshot on my charts, you'll be able to realise that that's the same thing there. This one here is the 8 period moving average. We're just going to delete that. I'm not worried about that. It's not of interest to us. So just literally clicked on it and then hit the delete button on my keyboard, and that's deleted it for me. Okay, so I've just got 21 period moving average here at the moment. We're going to add on a couple of others that's going to help us at a later date. So we're going to add on the 100 period moving average. So I'm going to right click anywhere on the chart. I'm going to add indicator, and I'm going to type in here simple, and I'm going to get the simple moving average. I'm going to change this to 100. I'm going to change the color to black. The next one I'm going to get up is the 50 period moving average, so I'm going to do the same thing again. Add indicator, it's already there for me. This is the 50 period. I'm going to whiz through this as fast as possible, guys, because some people will know how to do this automatically. For people that don't and find this difficult, obviously just keep pausing the video, and then you can catch up with what we're doing here. Down here we've got a MACD. So we're going to leave that as it is at the moment. We'll just change the colour of the histogram, it's currently green, to black again, just so it matches my chart. And we change the MACD colour, this one here again, just so it matches my chart. So when you're looking at things, I think it's some sort of pinky purpley colour I've got on mine, to be fair. So we'll just apply that now. and I've got this one to yellow. So when you're looking at mine, you know it's the same thing. Now, these are indicators which again we'll come on to at a later date. It's on a standard setting which you can change. For you guys, if you're just starting, just ignore this all for now. That's not of relevance to you. What the main thing for you guys is how you would trade and how you can start trading. So if, for example, I'd sent out a signal to tell everyone to go short on cable or to sell cable, it's the same thing. Going short on the market or to sell it means we're looking for it to come down. It may be based on some analysis that I've done. I've seen the market come up here. I believe that we've got a MACD crossover here. I think that we're overbought potentially. I think we're looking for a short-term sell-off period. So I may be telling you a signal, for example, to sell pound US dollar here. Now, in order for you to place that, you literally would bring up the market. So let's say you weren't on this market, you was on something else, and you got this alert or this signal. You would go to it, click on the market, and then you'd right click, and then you're going to create a market order, and then you are going to put a position on here. Now, the first thing you need to do is work out how much per point you're going to trade. So how much money per point? Now, a point is a movement on the chart. So for example, if you want to measure a point and how far away it is, click on this ruler, and you would measure it like this. So over on the right hand side, when I'm moving this ruler, I've left click, I'm holding the left click button down on my mouse, and it's telling me just to the right hand side there 321 points. Now the relevance of this is we're calculating your risk, which is very important. So when you're placing a trade, you may have had a signal from me to say, look, we're going to sell cable, pound US dollar, and our stop loss is going to be 100 points away. So if I measure 100 points, you won't need to do this, but it's just to give you an example. If I measure 100 points, it's somewhere around about there. Let's just put a line in, so I know it's somewhere around about here, okay? So our stop loss is going to be there. Now what that means is if the price doesn't fall off and keeps going up, if it gets to this point and goes through it, it's going to stop our position out at a loss. But it's a defined loss, and this is how we manage our risk. Now, although you guys are going to be opening a live trading account, the minimum size is £50, and the maximum size, well, there isn't a maximum, but you could go £50, you may have a £5,000 account. But let's make it simple, and let's say that people have got a £1,000 account. Okay, if you've got a £1,000 account, you want to be risking a maximum of 1% on each trade. Okay, so if you're not sure how to do it, you would obviously just put into a calculator £1,000, times it by 1%, and that means your maximum risk is £10. Okay, so the maximum you're allowed to lose is £10 on a trade. So what does that mean? What that means is when you're placing a trade, you're going to create the market order. You're going to sell the position, and you've got to work out how much pounds per pip you're going to risk. Okay, well, we know we're allowed to lose £10, and we know we've got £100 stop, 100 point stop, sorry. So we know we're allowed to trade £0.1, which is 10p per pip. So unfortunately, you can't trade exact multiples of 10p. So what it's going to do, it's going to give you the nearest option, okay, which is 8p. Now, I would always recommend going out under your actual value. The other option is 15p, but you want to go under your value. So this is based on a £1,000 total trading account. Now, bear in mind that you've got £50,000 in this demo account, but you may be on a real account. You want to ignore the fact you've got £50,000 and trade it based on you having the sum of money in there that you're realistically got to invest in a trading account. So in this scenario, we're going to have 8p a pip. We're going to put in our stop order, which again, I will text that out, and I will text it out as a value, so you can put it straight in there, okay? So you'd put in the value of your stop order, which in this scenario would be 1.309773, for example. And as we've already calculated, that's going to give us a sum stop if we do lose this position of £9.73, which is under our £10 limit. So that's kind of double check to make sure you're doing everything right, okay? Then we're going to put in our limit order, which again will be something that I've texted out. So let's say we were going for a big move down to here, a couple of hundred points, for instance. And then that's it. This is the order ready to go. What I need to click now is OK. And it's activated the order. You'll hear a little alert. And you can see here that you've got the order placed. Here, you've got your stop in red, and you've got your limit there, okay? So the order's in place. Now what might happen during an alert is that I send out an adjustment to the stop order. In this scenario, you would click on it and you would just put in the new figure that I've messaged out. So I might have changed it, I might have, we might be in profit, and I might have reduced this by a certain amount. So I've almost halved it, gone down to maybe 50, 60 pips because the market's maybe moved our way or something's changed, and that's what you would do to change that, okay? Again, the same with the limit. This is probably rare that I do this, but if I ever change the limit, again, it might be that I'm looking for a particular target and the target's moved slightly, so I potentially change the limit on the order. And then you just change it accordingly. So we'd be going like that, for instance, changing it, and then clicking OK, and that will set the new limit, okay? Now, often during a trade, you will find that I will text out close half a position or close a quarter of a position. Well, how would you do that? So, unfortunately, if you're trading on 8p a point, that is the minimum that you can trade on the market, okay? So you will not be able to close out part of a position if this is the case, okay? So, let's say in this scenario then it was to close all the position. Well, that's easy enough because I'd right click and I'd just click close position. I'm going to click OK. This is my floating profit and loss, okay, just here on the left. So we've just closed out in profit. It shows it there, 0.4 of a pip. So if I want to see that, I can go to my summary page over here. I can click on close positions, and we had 8p a pip. We had a profit of 0.4, so we've just made a staggering 3p on that particular trade, as an example. So let's give it a scenario where we've got a bit more money on the table and we were looking at closing part of a trade. So I'm going to create market order, we're going to sell, and let's say someone had a bigger account, they had a £10,000 account, so the risk multiplied by a factor of 10 because we had £1,000, so we've gone to a £10,000, so we're allowed to use £100. We're allowed to lose £100 on this trade, in which case we can enter £1 a pip, okay? Stop's going to be in the same place. So stop's going to be in the same place. Can't remember exactly where it was. What was it? Somewhere over here. Let's have a look. So stop was 30715. So creating market order. We're selling. So you click buy or sell up here. £1 a pip. £307, something like that, as an example. So yeah, about £100, just under £100. We're going to have a limit. Okay, let's just leave it where it is for now, but let's say that could have been anywhere. Again, it's rounded down, so I can't have £1 a pip exactly, so it's rounded down slightly. So I'm going to click OK. That's place the sell order, okay? Now, with you guys doing all this sort of stuff, executing trades, going in and out the market, closing parts of position, going long or short, buying and selling, you're all going to make mistakes. So if you're new, this is why it's important to use a demo account. Guarantee you'll make a mistake. People will sell when they should have bought when they should have sold, etc., etc. So this scenario then, I'm explaining to you how we'd close part of a trade. So let's pretend that this had gone up, it moved in our favour, and I decided that we need to close part of a trade. So I'm going to click close. I'm going to select maybe half the position. So I'm 93p a pip. So let's say I'm going to close 40p a pip or 45p a pip, 0.45 of that position. Again, it will round it to the nearest possible amount that it does, so 0.45, and then just click OK. And my trade is still there, it's still live, okay? But if I look now, I've only got 0.54 left on the table, okay? So I've halved my position. And then if I go to close positions, you can see that I've closed for 0.1 of a pip, 0.39, so it rounded it down again from my 0.45 to 0.39, okay? We've got a floating profit and loss. We've now made 26p today. And you can see here usable margin, etc., and all the things that I explained earlier, okay? So you may have several positions running at the same time. So let's say we'd opened another position, you'd got text out, we're going to be selling the UK 100. Great market order, we're going to sell. Again, you had the £1,000 account. The stop was 100 pips. Usually you'd put in the value there. It's automatically doing it for me around about where I had it. Okay. Now, if this is giving you the actual price, you can actually change it to pips. So if you're not sure and you want to see how many pips that was, just click the pips button down the bottom here, and that changes it to pips for you. Okay, so you see, so 100 pips, 200 pips. So we're selling it, £1 a point. Okay, so we've now got 2 active trades on the market. Okay, we want to get a summary of what they are, and you can see that here. Okay. Now, when we've opened a trade, we've just opened the UK 100 trade, you'll see that we're already down a certain amount, okay? So a gross profit and loss is 50p. If we go to open positions, which is a clear way of seeing it, we can see our profit and loss in pips. We're already down. Now, what that's because of the spread, something called the spread. So the spread is the difference between the ask and the buy price, which you can click on here. And what you have is you'll have a spread, so that's how the broker's making his money. So when you often go in trades, it will already be in negative territory when you first place the order. Different things have different size spreads. So for example, one of the biggest ones is this one, which is usually about 10 pips. So if I created a market order here, I'm going to sell. Now it's a higher, usually you'd have a bigger stop on this market, which again you'd see when you do the signal. So it'd usually be 200 pip stop on this particular one. And then if we go and have a look at the summary, the market summary over here, you'll see that I'm down 9 pips already. And again, that's just the spread, okay, which is normal. Okay, so hopefully that explains to you a bit about the trades, how you place them, how you get in and out of them, how you close them down. I'll just close these ones down now because they were just demo trades. They're not things that you guys should be following. So I've just closed that one. I'm going to close this one. And you can actually close them from the main screen here. So open position, right click. And then I can close. It's giving me the option for close position, close all positions, or close all for symbol. So be very careful here. Close position will close the one that I'm highlighting. Close all position will close everything that's open in my account. Close all for symbol will close all the positions that relate to that particular pair or symbol. So I'm just going to close this position here. Again, I could do half the position if I needed. Okay, that's it for the trading station, a very basic overview how to use the trading station software. If you've set it up how you want it, if you just click this close button, do you want to exit, and click yes, it will pretty much, when you next open it, it will open it up just the same as how you've set it up. But you may want to set it up so you've got, I don't know, this like this on your desktop, so you have half a window like that. You may have that like that. Now that, if you want to save it like that, you click View, Profile, Save Profile, name it. Okay. Click OK. Then that will save that for you. So if in the future you lose your setup or something changes, or you've mucked up one of your indicators and you don't know how to get it back, so let's say I deleted this, deleted that by mistake, I'd got this all muddled up and got that in a mess, and I was a bit unsure then how to get things back, I would just click View, Profile, Open Profile, Demo. There's loads of other ones I've got on here, but they're just obviously mine. So Demo is the one that we've saved. And then that's opened it up exactly how we had it before. Okay, that's the end of the demonstration on the trading station platform. The next demonstration is going to be using the app, so the iPhone app. So it's not essential that you actually use this platform. If you're just copy trading myself and following our signals, then you could just do it off the app, off the application, off your iPhone. You'd get the signal to your iPhone or your smartphone. You could then use the FXCM app, which we're going to go through next, to open, close, and do everything that you can just do here. You can do it straight off the app, which may be easier for some people that have got less time, haven't got a PC available. But it's worth knowing this anyway, because you may want to look at this at a later date.